Hello, everybody. How are you? Sorry, I've been gone for a couple of weeks. Tried to put a post up about my heroes predictions, and for some reason it didn't go through, and I got kind of caught up in school and family and all that good stuff. But UFC 78 is this coming up weekend, and so I decided to put up my predictions. On a side note, I have to congratulate Dave Terrell on proving me right once again. As the Stickum guys can tell you, I started calling Dave Terrell. He pulls out better than Ron Jeremy. His new nickname instead of the Soul Assassin should be Mr. Glass. But no offense to him, he'd probably kick my ass any day of the week. So shouldn't talk too much crap on him. Jumping into it, first fight of the night would be Akihiro Gono versus Tatum McCrory. Tatum McCrory, he's a finisher. He's finished all of his fights. He's undefeated. I believe it's 8-0. Uh, Going up against Akihiro Gono. Gono, highly experienced from Pride and from over in Japan. Big star in Japan. Not really well known in America. He's fought a lot of big names. He's lost to a lot of big names as well. He lost to Dan Henderson. He's lost to Paulo Filo. He's lost to Dennis King, I believe. I mean, he's fought them all and he's lost to them. He comes in with massive amount of experience. But something's telling me that McCrory, he's gonna be a kind of a, no, I don't want to say a big thing, but he's gonna be a thing uh, for a little bit. And something's telling me that I'm going to go with my gut instinct on here. McCrory, second round TKO. Uh, this is going to be a fight we're not going to see. I don't know a lot about McCrory, and I wish I knew a little bit more, but we'll see. Next fight of the night, Luke uh, Cadillo versus Marcus Aurelio. Luke Cadillo, he has 8 losses, and 6 of them come by subs. And he's going to go up against, I don't want to say a very good sub man, but he's a good sub man nonetheless. He loves that arm triangle. He's pretty, I don't know how, I mean, Mio and I both agree that his style doesn't transition to a cage very well, but I see him winning this via unanimous decision. Aurelio via unanimous decision. Uh, Next fight, Jason Reinhardt versus Joe Lozen. Uh, Jason Reinhardt, oh my God, I'm so excited to see this guy fight in the UFC. 18 and 0, has fought some pretty decent competition. None of his fights have gone the distance. None of his fights have gone past the second round. So, guys, Joe Lozen, who's been made famous via the Tough series, which he should have been made famous by uh, knocking out Jim's Pulver on his return. So, I just think Jason Reinhardt, he's coming in he's a bantamweight, to be honest. He's at 135 naturally, but he's coming up to fight in lightweight. I think that might prove to be a problem, but I just think he's going to be really slick. He's going to have a fast sub, and he's going to catch Joe Lozon via sub in the first. I just see it happening. Joe might prove me wrong. I mean, he's proved me wrong against the uh, going up against Jin, so who knows? Next fight. I'm praying that they show this fight. Chris Lytle versus Thiago Alves. This is can easily be fight of the night. Chris Lytle has never been stopped. All of his losses come by decision outside of the Riggs fight, which was a cut. I mean, you can't really count a cut as a true stoppage loss. I count that kind of in the same league as a decision. Thiago Alves, extremely good striker, extremely good ground fighter. Comes from American top teams with an amazing team. It's gonna be a great fight. Lytle is great on the ground as well. He's great standing. He's been a boxer for a while. I mean, he's got all the tools necessary to be a good threat. I think he's always going to be a gatekeeper because he's just not that good of an athlete. But it should be an interesting fight. Both don't really have much of back down. I'm gonna say Alves, and I'm gonna say Alves via split decision. Basically, because I see Alves not laying praying, but basically having faster hands, having making scoring better punches. I'm not gonna say scoring the more powerful punches. I think that's gonna go to Lytle, but I think Alves is gonna control the ground and score better punches. So yeah, so I'm thinking that's what's gonna happen. Next fight, Frank Edgar versus Spencer Fisher. Frank Edgar, I think he's 2-0 in the octagon now. His big win over Tyson Griffin was his debut. I think he's now 10-0 in overall. I didn't write down this stuff. I'm sorry, guys. Uh, Spencer Fisher. Everybody knows who Spencer the King Fisher is. Really well known now. Great fights. The guy comes in here ready to fight no matter what. I think Spencer's big problem though is he has a problem against ground guys. Matt Wyman gave him a lot of issues. He ended up beating Matt Wyman with that amazing high flying knee, but you know, gave him a lot of issues. And I think Edgar's is a better wrestler. I don't think he's gonna be stronger than Spencer, but he's gonna be strong. And I think it's gonna be. I don't want to say lay and pray because I don't think Edgar's is a lay and prayer. I think he's a good wrestler that likes to bring in ground and pound and he stays active and he's got good submissions. I see Edgar's winning this via split decision. It's going to be a good. This can also be a fight of the night. It's a candidate. Next fight, the long-awaited debut of Rio Chonin versus Cairo Parisian. Uh, this is one of my other things. I think Dana just brought over a very beatable Pride guy and putting him up against a silent killer in the 170 division. Cairo Parisian is a badass. Simple as that. And he's going up against Rio Chonin, who's well known because he's got that amazing scissor finish on Anderson Silva, but I don't think he's got much else. He's got some big wins, but he's got a lot of big losses too. Uh, I'm picking Cairo. I don't see Cairo finishing it. It's going to be a domination. Cairo's got pretty decent hands. He's got obviously great throws. He's got a great ground game. Uh, but then again, Jeremy was saying it when he met him that Cairo he never trains. He even said he only trained for like 2 or 3 weeks before his Diego fight, and look how good he looked in Diego. But we've never seen the best Cairo as we can see. So maybe he might beat himself here. I think Chonin is highly overrated. I think Cairo is kind of underrated right now. Uh, that said, I still don't think Cairo is in the top three on the welterweight division. I don't even think he might be in the top five, but still. I see Cairo winning this by unanimous decision, total control. Well, maybe not total control, but mostly pretty well controlled. And it's going to be just another feather in Dana's cap to say, oh yeah, here's another UFC that beat up on a Pride guy. That's just what I think's the entire situation of bringing Rio Chonin of all people over, and not Dennis Kang, and not leaving Paulo Filo over at WFA, and not bringing any of the good lightweights in. They're bringing in a couple of cans now, kind of like Aurelio. Next fight of the night, our fight would be Joe Dirksen versus Ed Herman. Joe Dirksen replacing the injured Terrell. Uh, Ed Herman, I guess his biggest chink in his armor is that he doesn't have he somebody that's really good at subs can beat him. Kendall beat him. Not to say he subbed him, but Kendall beat him. I think he almost subbed him a few times. Uh, Jason McDonald's beat him via triangle, and he's going up against Joe Dirksen, who, in my opinion, in a lot of people's opinion, is the best sub man in MMA today. I mean, bar none. You got to be a really good wrestler and to smother Joe Dirksen's subs, and even then, it's kind of hard to do. I'm gonna have Joe Dirksen winning this unanimous decision. I don't see him finishing Ed. He might finish Ed. I don't want to say that. I think he might finish Ed with the armbar maybe, or a triangle. Or not, yeah, a triangle. Maybe even a guillotine. But I just see him controlling Ed Herman. I think Joe Dirksen is a really big guy as well for his weight class. He might. I wouldn't be surprised if Ed Herman does win, just because Joe Dirksen didn't get that much notice, and to train for a guy the quality of Ed Herman. Ed Herman's an easy C level, low B level competition, so you got to take him serious. Next fight of the night would be Thiago Silva versus Houston Alexander. This is gonna be an interesting fight as well, just because uh, I think Houston Alexander is highly overrated right now. This is gonna go into the second round. I see it. I think Thiago Silva has good enough hands, but he might get rocked. but I see Thiago Silva getting knocked down or getting slammed down by Alexander and then sliding in the choke, triangle choke from the bottom. Second round, Thiago Silva, triangle choke. Last fight of the night, I don't really want to talk about it. I don't like either of these guys. I'm not a big Bisping or Rashad fan. I think it's a horrible main event. So I'm going to say Rashad via unanimous split or unanimous decision. Period. That's it. I don't want to talk about it. Later, guys.